Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, I continue bringing you the story of the simple love between Hoài Ca and Hùng. In a land that still carries its raw, untouched appearance, where wild grass grows densely and covers every patch of ground, where the surface is rough and uneven as if no trace of care or cultivation has ever passed through, Hoài Ca and Hùng began their journey. A journey without noise, without any sense of luxury or display, without perfectly prepared steps from the beginning, yet filled with determination, effort, and quiet hopes that only they themselves can truly feel. Without a solid foundation to rely on, without favorable conditions laid out from the start to make the path easier, they chose to begin with what they had. They did not wait, did not compare, did not look for an easier way. They accepted reality and started from exactly where they stood. A piece of land that seemed forgotten by time, a place that for many might appear unworthy of belief, a space that at first glance reflects only hardship and difficulty. But for Hoài Ca and Hùng, it became the starting point of a dream. They did not see the land only for what it was in the present. They did not just see the weeds, the uneven ground, or the challenges ahead. They saw what it could become in the future. And that vision was what made them stay, what made them begin, what made them invest their effort and belief into it, even knowing the road ahead would not be easy. In the early days, the amount of work seemed far greater than what their strength could handle. There was no clear division, no modern tools to support them. Everything was done by hand, through persistence, repeating small tasks day after day. Each strike of the hoe into the hardened soil, each bend to pull out thick weeds, each slow step to level uneven ground. All required time, patience, and a level of endurance that not everyone can maintain throughout such a long journey. There was no major support from outside. No one behind them to shorten the path. They did everything themselves, faced the first challenges themselves, found ways to overcome each small obstacle on their own. When others rested after a long day, they kept going. When their daily work ended, instead of stopping, they returned to that land, continuing unfinished tasks, as if it was no longer just work, but had become an inseparable part of their journey. There were days when exhaustion showed clearly in every movement. Moments when progress seemed slower than expected. Times when, from the outside, their efforts might appear too small compared to what needed to be achieved. But they did not stop. They did not give up because of slow progress. They did not doubt their path because results were not yet clear. They kept going, maintaining a steady rhythm, quietly moving forward step by step. And then, the land began to change day by day. Not a rapid transformation that could be seen immediately. Not a dramatic shift that would surprise everyone. But slow, gentle changes, yet clear enough for those who patiently observed. The wild grass that once covered everything began to disappear. No longer as dense as before. Empty patches of land appeared more frequently, a sign that this place had been touched, changed by persistence and effort. The ground no longer remained as rough as before. High and low areas were gradually leveled, becoming flatter little by little. Though not yet complete, though much still remained to be done, the change was real. It was the result of days without giving up. Proof that small efforts, when repeated long enough, create visible transformation. The space that once felt wild, quiet, and somewhat cold, now began to show signs of something different. No longer just a forgotten place, but gradually becoming a space being shaped, being prepared for something greater. Something that is not only the transformation of the land, but also the reflection of the journey that Hoài Ca and Hùng are walking through each day. And perhaps, what is gradually taking shape there, is not only a change on the outside, but the result of a process that is steady, quiet, yet deeply meaningful. A journey that is still continuing. And every step they take today will lead them toward what lies ahead, where that dream is becoming clearer with each passing day. But what is truly valuable in this journey does not lie only in what Hoài Ca and Hùng are building day by day on that piece of land. Not just the areas that have been cleared. Not just the ground that has gradually become flatter. Not just the visible changes that can be seen as each day passes. But something deeper than that. It lies in the way they have chosen to walk alongside each other. A companionship that is not loud, not showy, not expressed through grand words, yet present in the smallest moments, in the most ordinary days, in the repetitive tasks that seem simple, but are not easy to sustain, in moments when their bodies grow tired after long hours of work, when their hands no longer feel as steady as before, when each step becomes heavier, they still do not give up, and more importantly, they do not let the other face that exhaustion alone. No one is left behind. No one has to carry everything alone. Even without saying it out loud, they are always there, always present, always sharing every small task, walking through every difficult stage together. There are times when the feeling of wanting to stop is real, not because they are weak, but because exhaustion builds up over time, because there are days when the work seems endless, because progress is so slow that it makes one question themselves. But then, in those very moments, they become each other's motivation. No need for long encouragement, no need for powerful words, just a glance, a simple presence, a quiet feeling that the other person is still there, still continuing alongside you. That alone is enough to bring them back to their original determination. They do not need to say much, but they understand. They understand that both are moving toward the same goal. They understand that if one stops, the journey will no longer be complete. And that companionship becomes the most enduring strength, silent, yet essential. Not easily seen by the eyes, but present in every step they take. In every day they refuse to give up. The dream of a chicken farm may sound like a simple plan, a way to improve their finances, a clear goal to aim for. But for Hoài Ca and Hùng, it is not just that. It is not only about raising chickens, not only about creating income. It is a dream of a more stable life, a life they can control with their own hands, not depending, not waiting, not standing still and watching things pass by, but building it themselves, creating it themselves, changing things step by step. It is a very simple desire, yet one that carries deep meaning, a desire to see their efforts turn into results. To feel that their hard days are not meaningless, to believe that the path they are on can lead to a clearer future, and above all, it is belief, a quiet belief, not loud, not showy, but strong enough to keep them going, that as long as they try long enough, as long as they do not stop halfway, then good things will come, not immediately, not easily, but surely, they will come. And perhaps, after everything, the most meaningful thing in that journey does not lie in the final result. Not in the image of a completed farm, not in achievements that everyone can see, but in every step they have taken, every day they chose to stay, every moment they chose not to give up. It is in the way they face difficulties, not avoiding them, not giving up, but continuing forward, slowly, but steadily. It is in the way they turn small things into the very first foundations. Foundations not built from something big at the beginning, but created from repeated small efforts each day, from persistence, from endurance, from refusing to stop before things are complete. And those small things, when accumulated over time, become a strong foundation. A foundation not only for the land they are building, but also for the future they are moving toward. A journey, still continuing. And every step they take today will carry great meaning for the paths that lie ahead. Because in life, not everyone who starts from zero can reach the destination. Not every dream brings immediate results. Not every effort leads to change in a short time. There are journeys that begin with great hope but end halfway. There are people who once took steps forward but could not continue because of too many hardships. There are dreams that never even have the chance to take shape, not because they don't want to go on, but because the road ahead is too long, too exhausting, and filled with too many obstacles that make people hesitate. Because in reality, starting from zero is never easy. It means having almost nothing in your hands. No foundation, no advantage, no favorable conditions to make the journey easier. There is only one choice: to begin. To begin with the smallest things. To begin with tasks that even you may not be sure where they will lead. And because of that, not everyone who starts can reach the end. But there is something different. Those who never stop trying. Those who keep moving forward, even slowly. Those who refuse to let difficulties become a reason to stop. Those who accept that their path will be longer, harder, and without immediate results, yet still do not turn back. Then surely, they will not remain in the same place. They may not have reached where they want to be, but they are moving forward. They may not see clear results yet, but they are creating small changes every day. And those changes, those seemingly small steps, when accumulated over time, will gradually become a great distance from where they first began. Because the most important thing is not how fast you go, but whether you keep going. Not how much you have achieved, but whether you stop halfway. Not whether the road is easy or not, but whether you have the persistence to walk it to the end. And the story of Hoài Ca and Hùng is a clear example of that. It is not a story of instant success, not a journey paved with convenience, but a journey built from small beginnings, from a piece of untouched land, from days of continuous hard work, from moments of exhaustion, yet without choosing to stop. And most importantly, from companionship. A companionship strong enough not to leave when things become difficult. A companionship that does not need many words, but is always present at the right time. A companionship that makes the journey no longer a burden for one person alone, but a shared path for two. And perhaps that is the greatest meaning this story brings. That as long as there is belief, a belief strong enough not to be shaken by the difficult early days. As long as there is persistence, a persistence strong enough to continue even when things move slower than expected. And as long as there is someone strong enough to walk beside you, someone who does not let go, someone who does not leave you behind, someone willing to go through the hardest parts of the journey with you, then no matter where you start, no matter what your starting point is, that journey will always carry its own meaning. A meaning not measured by how far you have gone, but by the fact that you did not give up. Not giving up on your dreams, not giving up on the path you chose, and not giving up on yourself from the very first steps. And perhaps, after everything they have been through, what remains is not only the image of a piece of land gradually changing, but also the image of two people who continue to stay, still moving forward together, still holding on to each other, even when the road ahead remains uncertain. That journey is not over yet. What they have done today is only the beginning. There are still challenges ahead, still days of exhaustion, still difficulties they will have to face together. But one thing has become very clear: they will not stop. Because they are not just building a piece of land, they are building their future. And as long as there is belief, as long as there is persistence, and as long as they have each other, that journey will always have meaning. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to today's story. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment to share your thoughts. Your support is a huge motivation for me to continue bringing more meaningful stories. The journey of Hoài Ca and Hùng is still unfolding. How will that land continue to change? How will the dream they are nurturing grow in the days ahead? All will be revealed in the next episode. See you all in the next video.
Xin chào mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình nhé. Hôm nay thì mình tiếp tục đưa đến với mọi người video của Hoài Ca và Hùng nhé mọi người. Hôm nay thì video hôm nay thì kể về hành trình cùng nhau xây lông trại của Hùng và Hoài Ca. Thì Hùng và Hoài Ca đã gặp rất là nhiều khó khăn trong cái hành trình yêu nhau cũng như là cuộc sống, thì cả hai luôn cố gắng để vượt qua và đồng hành bên nhau. Thì liệu mọi chuyện diễn ra tiếp theo sẽ như thế nào? Hãy đón xem những phần tiếp theo ở trên kênh của mình nhé mọi người.